Yeah, that's.
Yeah. They have a lot.
Yeah.
Is there someone else coming?
Megan said she was.
Okay, we'll just wait. I mean, people are still getting something to drink too. Is that someone coming?
Yeah, that's a Neil. He's coming. Oh, God,
Someone's
that's
gonna sit
blinding.
Front row here.
Tom's coming. You gotta get started here. Someone's coming up here now, dude. He got first dibs on. Yeah.
Bring this chair, please.
Well, I'm gonna stand here.
Well, you'll need a chair at some point. Oh, all right, fair enough.
That's better trying those symptoms. Yeah.
Okay, should we get started? Okay, we're gonna get started. First of all, I just want to say thanks to Steve, 5K Cafe, 3 Mile Outfitters for hosting us here tonight. And, you know, being obviously a great supporter of our club since they've opened the cafe. So thank you, Steve. Check out some great sale going on in here and some of the stuff he's got in the store. So check it out. And just for anyone who joined us, we will have some food here put out. Is it out there now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just feel free to get up and grab some food. You can also order drinks at the counter there as we go. All right. So welcome, everyone. This is our 2023 annual general meeting. Welcome to anybody who's online. And this is from me on behalf of the rest of the board. So that's Ian, Nicole, Scott, Jillian, and Jacqueline. Okay. We are recording this. So we're broadcasting, we're recording, which is just a lot easier than taking notes. And so just wanted to make sure everyone is aware that we are recording. Okay. Starting off, just wanted to say some thank yous. So we have, actually this is Nicole, sorry, I'm like just going at it. So,
And I'm just gonna sit here, I'm not gonna stand up in front over there, and I can see it from here. So, as Craig was saying, so we do have a few people and organizations to thank. Beth Keeping for behind the scenes, she's the one that organizes all of our apparel as soon as it arrives and for us, so she, like, say she puts it all together, we can mark everyone here.
it's Beth's here.
And Ian, Coach Ian, for helping us out with our speed work and anything, all the other training plans that people need for the club.
Should we clap for him?
And
No.
Nancy Alexander, she's been a longtime member of the club, but she also helps us at the end of the year with our financial reports. So she's a great help to me, being the treasurer of the group. At the end of the year, getting everything done to the bottom line. She was going to be here tonight, but I don't think she. Yeah. And obviously our board, so Craig mentioned us all at the beginning, so I'm not going to go over it again. And then we also had Stacy. Stacy came on as our register for the group a few months back, close to a year, I would say now, maybe she's been doing it. Yeah. So she's the one that registers all the new members to our group. So all your lovely emails and invites to the Facebook page come from her. And also we want to say a huge thank you to all of our members that have been doing donations with your annual renewals. It's been a great help. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And like Craig touched on with the 5K Cafe and 3 Mile Outfitters being a great organization for us, especially for a lot of us on our runs on Saturdays and Sundays and evenings. Sports Wheels also is a good support. Aerobics First and Luke, and of course Chain Link Park Run, which we all participate in quite frequently.
Wouldn't happen without the volunteers.
No,
Thank you to everyone who volunteers at Park Run. We're all, a lot of us are regular runners there, but also a lot of regular volunteers too. So.
And they are looking for volunteers for tomorrow if anyone
That's
is,
right.
I just signed up to be a marshal, so like, oh my God, keep it coming in the cold.
Buy one of those down jackets.
Fine.
All right, this is Scott.
Hi, okay, this is Jillian, on behalf of the BLT Runners members for 3 years as member of board of directors. Thanks for your contribution and work on the board of directors. You will be missed. Thanks.
Unfortunately, yeah, Jillian's not here tonight, but we,
She's online.
I don't think she signed in. She was gonna, but didn't see her.
She had to go to Cape.
Yeah.
All right, so our agenda for the evening is one, approval of the minutes from the 2022 AGM, the 2022 annual report of the directors, 2022 financial report signed by the two directors, approval of the financial statements presented, and then we'll be doing an election for 2 new directors to join the board, and we'll be adjourned.
All right.
All right, so minutes from 2022 AGM, meeting minutes, approval of the minutes from the 2020 AGM passed by vote, motion by Kelly Bennett and second by Stacy Henley, then approved unanimously by 22 yay, 0 nay. The 2021 annual report of the directors was presented by the board. The 2021 financial report was prepared by Nancy Alexander, CPA, signed by 2 directors, which was was myself and Craig. A motion to approve the financial statement was made by Scott White and second by Megan Kenny, then approved unanimously by 21 yay. I don't know why we got one there. Oh, different year, different.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, that was all on Zoom and we did
Yeah, we
it
might have
on
lost
Zoom,
one.
so.
Election of directors, so per bylaw number 34, directors Nicole Major and Craig Durling completed 3-year terms of office and would retire from office at the end of the annual general meeting. An election would be held to choose successors with retiring directors of eligibility, I think that word, for re-election. The board received 2 nominations prior to the AGM, which was myself and was nominated by Joyce, and Craig was nominated by Stacy. There were no other nominations from the virtual floor and therefore no voting required, so myself and Craig were re-elected by acclamation.
So, well, actually, we need a,
Oh, yeah, sorry, so can I get someone to?
we need to do it this set, but this year.
Use me a second.
So who was the mover?
Joyce.
Joyce
Joyce.
And Stacy.
and Stacy was second.
Yeah.
Anyone, all in favor? Yes. Anyone opposed? All right, the motion will carry. Okay, so now on to our annual report of the board of directors. Do you want to use this?
Sure. Just-
Right to go forward, yeah.
Okay, so this is the annual report. So this is the overview of our club structure. We're a nonprofit society incorporated under Nova Scotia Societies Act. Anyone can become a member. Right. Yeah.
Can't see the screen to do that.
Anyone can become a member of our organization by completing the form, signing the waiver, but it must be renewed annually, and there's reasons why we do that. Further.
I don't know. Another friend.
Friends coming back. Multiple friends.
Okay.
Members who joined or renewed membership on or before January 22nd of this year may vote at the AGM. And our fiscal year is January 1st to 31st of December. So it has to be held within 3 months of the year end. So this falls within that range. And our quorum is 10%, which as of January 22nd, it was 11 people because we had 112 members at that date of station. So our purpose and what we stand for is to unite runners by creating a fun, supportive, group that brings people together. We strongly believe in the ideas of inclusivity and respect. So we welcome runners of all abilities, ages, and situations. It's free to join.
Downstairs, don't worry.
We structure our activities with a focus on opening space for everybody to participate. Our run standards aim to create inclusive and respectful experiences. So we also believe that the goal should be that just focusing on speed, temporary, things like that. and the physical and mental health through staying active. So in the end, it's not about getting faster or running further. It's about staying well. So we believe that staying active.
Christian's not getting her list.
Not by just running, I think, but both physical. That we promote a physical and mental healthy lifestyle. So this is our structure of club governance. We have it listed since 2016, all of the board members that we've had. So this is this year right here. So Jillian and myself, we are up as of this year. So annual membership renewals. So we feel the move to annual memberships in 2020 has helped achieve certain goals, which are communications. So we only want to target active members, not spamming those who are no longer interested or not participating. Member input, targeting just those who are active in the club. Facebook group access, so preserving it as relevant and close-knit with high engagement. Risk management, so we would like our members to agree to our club waiver annually, and the quorum for general meetings. So if we have too many members out there, then it's hard to achieve quorum. So we only want active members, so it's more realistic to get 10%. And planning for the future, having good member information such as trends and demographics will help the board directors in future planning and budgeting. And Stacy, like we said, she took over as registrar and she did up the membership report this year. So she's gonna.
Okay. It won't take me long. So in 2021, there was 185 members. At the end of 2022, we had about 195. So just a small increase. Comparing the finalists from 2021 to 2022, about 61% of the people continued as members between the 2 years, which is very comparable. I think the previous year it was 62 or 60, but it was basically the same number. So that's typically what the club sees every year from my understanding. In terms of when we see members join the club, this is just sort of, we usually open it November or December for the next year's registration. So we see our biggest gain in membership usually in December and January. January, because that's when I start saying, or someone starts saying, if you don't join, you're going to lose your access. And then typically it's pretty flat the rest of the year. This year we did see a bit of a gain in sort of the March, April, May, which I think is sort of the spring. Everyone's going back to running again. And we definitely, through Nicole and her connection to Team Miles, I know we got some members through that as well. And the Blue Nose Marathon is in that period. Summer's very flat. We did see a little bit of a gain in the fall, probably because there's a lot of races that time of year. And we had quite a few events as well. But you'll see the trend is very similar every year in terms of how our membership grows. In terms of ages of members, you'll see the biggest age group is 40 to 50. I am in that group. I believe the average age was 44 or 45, which is exactly my age. It's actually slightly down in that percentage from last year. I think we had a few members graduate to the 50. But the distribution is actually very similar to what we've seen pretty much last year as well. Like compared the two graphs, there was very little change in them. And it's the same thing in terms of males and females. It was exactly 2/3 female and 1/3 male. Exactly. So that's pretty much our statistics for 2022.
Thank you, Stacy. Before we go, I'm just gonna see if there was a beeping again, so if somebody's trying to get in. Andrew, Norma. Welcome, Andrew and Norma. Sorry, we're in the middle of someone presenting something, so we took a second before we admitted you, but you can stay on mute. You don't have to come up. Hopefully you can hear us.
So now we're going to highlight some of our group runs, the runs that we have put on. One that we do every year is the Reboot Run, and this is to attract either new runners or lapsed runners to try out our running group. We had rain this year, We seem to have had a lot of rain this year at some of our events. We keep it to like a 24-minute run, 12 minutes out and back, just to make it a little bit more accessible to anybody who's new or lapsed. So it's more of an achievable time as opposed to like our Monday 40-minute run. So we started from here, Garda Stone, down and back, and we had some snacks. We had some tangerines, I think, hot chocolate, and chips.
Speed work. Last year, we didn't have speed work until April 6th. Because we didn't have the Canada Game Center. So we're back in the Canada Game Center this year, but we won't talk about that till next year. April 6th, we tend to start the first week of April. The weather is usually, reasonable. At least it's light enough in the evening now. And we will start back up again this year, at the beginning of April. I tend to post the workouts on, for those that haven't been following before, the workouts will be posted usually that morning on the Facebook group page. So if you want to come and join, you can be with us, or you can play along with the home game. I usually show up around 5:30, and I'll be there between 5:30 and 6:30. Though there's usually someone, Craig's normally a little bit late, the nature of his life. So he'll probably be running till 7 or so most Wednesdays, and we'll go through till till October, when it gets a bit dark. And we had some trying to get a group shot is impossible. So we do our best to make sure our photos are inclusive of all who showed up. Gonna make that slide go now, correct?
You want it?
Oh, you moved it. No, okay. We had a shoe demo night again. We've been lucky to have a variety of shoe demo nights over the years. Mostly, two companies, Solomon and On, have come out. And we had the On rep again. That was Drew. He popped out for one of our Mun runs. And this year he had a bigger demo fleet with 3 different shoes to test out. That was the Monster, the Stratus, and the Flow. Hopefully we'll get either Drew or another shoe company to come out again this year. It's just a nice opportunity to try something in a fairly low-key environment. We tend to try and push it a little bit before Mun Run so that you can test them out a little bit and then go for your Mun Run afterwards. Oh look, Steve, you're in the picture. Made the picture. So it was great, and Drew has been very good about popping out and answering questions, and he's certainly an excellent rep for his product, and I won't have any qualms about bringing him back again this year. All right, moving on to
6th anniversary. We had our Mun Run with cake and bubbly, and look forward to having our 7th anniversary sometime in June. And we'll post the date. Hopefully have some beverages and a big cake to celebrate.
Costco.
And we had that tent which protected us from the rain. I think it was
Oh, yeah.
kind of wet that night.
It was.
Yeah. All right, this is me. So back in 2019, we had a team, and we had some teams in Rum Runners, and people were really excited. And we actually registered 4 teams in 2019 for the 2020 Rum Runners Relay. So that's like 40 runners, and then stuff happened. So the 2020 and 2021 relays were canceled, and things got deferred. Everyone is excited to do it again in 2022, and then we had to deal with Hurricane Fiona, so it was canceled again. So really the point here, just wanted to kind of let people know that we still plan on participating in this event in 2023. As far as we know, it's still going. deferred our entries again. We did actually withdraw one team because there were quite a few people from 2019 that weren't able to run anymore. Maybe they moved away. Like a few things happened over the course of a couple of years. So we had enough people that weren't available, and we didn't feel we could fill that fourth team with new members. So we actually withdrew one team. So we have 3 teams. Basically, if you're one of the people who originally paid for this in 2020 or 2019, and you didn't withdraw and we didn't give you your money back, then you're still signed up to go in 2023. So we'll be in touch with you, but we'll see what happens. Usually there's some changes and so on. So, okay, just wanted to talk a little bit about this. Something that I don't think we've totally got it figured out. I mean, we do run year round. We want to provide a group run for people, uninterrupted, rain or shine. So, maybe there's the odd time we have canceled it because things are really, really, really bad. But generally speaking, we aim to have like a very consistent group run every week, no matter what. In the wintertime, things always seem to, like, the attendance seems to go down. And that, that's probably because it's dark, it's cold, but we still aim to do this. We switch over to not running on the trail. Maybe that's not as popular as well. So, always looking for feedback if people have ideas or thoughts on how we might be able to, keep this vibrant. We certainly have really good turnouts in the spring, summer, and fall. We're all ears, but love to hear your feedback. Okay, back over to Jacqueline.
I think I'm me on this one, so, yeah. This is one of the events that we try to do every year. We did it in a little bit, maybe a week later than last year, on November the 27th. We had 2 options. We had the 12.5 kilometer and a 15 kilometer option. There was 2 starts, one that was at the James Street School and one that was at the Bluff parking lot. This is another great event and that we put on, and we ended with coffee and treats at the Bike and Bean.
Okay, Nicole.
So this is probably one of my favorite events that we do, just because I love the creativity of people's posts when they're posting their kilometers update. But it's what we call our Christmas marathon. It runs from December 24th to December 31st. So it gives you those 7-8 days to run the equivalent of either a half marathon, or ultra marathon. So as you can see, this year we started out around here and had some treats here at the 5K Cafe. So it's, like I said, it's nice to see all the different pictures and of people posting and giving us their updates. So.
Yeah. So Craig and I chatted a lot about ridiculous race events during COVID, and our dreams finally came true for one of them. There could be more too. And that was to race park run in Denham. And Craig came up with the name the Chape Race. The Denham Momentum was the other nickname for the race. We were contacted by Park Run. They like to have club takeovers, and they wanted to see if the BLT Runners would do a takeover for the end of November. And we thought, yes, and yes. And we did. And we took over, and we invited everyone to wear as much denim as possible. And we had some good outfits. And lots of denim, some fast runs, some slow runs, some fun runs, and I think not a lot of chafing, sadly. It was actually a really nice weather day.
Energy as hard as I thought.
No, the weather was like perfect for it. It wasn't bad at all. But maybe we'll aim for a hot summer day in the future. Oh yeah. So another event we did, and this is part of the Miracle Mile, started up in 2020 when we decided not to host we decided not to host the traditional kickoff for the Christmas marathon because of COVID, and we couldn't. So we did a virtual mile event on the trail over here, downhill mile, your fastest, best mile. And we had to do it again in 2021. And this year we decided that because we started the marathon with the park run, and we were going to end it with a park run, that in the middle of it, we had some time off. So let's throw the Miracle Mile again. And I think you did a little video there, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll play.
It plays?
No, you might have to press the button. Some of you may have seen this.
This year we had a mass start, which was new. And we do time it.
Move it.
That was our little event. It's great. Corey and Jamie ran like pretty almost identical times, zipping down the hill. It was nice. We did raise a little bit of money. The event is free, but we asked for a donation if possible for Snooki Socks, which is Luke McDonald's and his friends charity to buy wool socks for homeless people. And they raised quite a bit of money this year and bought a lot of socks. That's great. 3 Mile Outfitter and 5K Cafe donated a few draw prizes as well, which was, and then we all zipped over here afterwards. And next one there, Craig. And this was our very first opportunity. We bought these bibs actually for events the previous year that we never really got to use them. Covering up the. But we finally got a chance to use our race bibs. We bought these for the club. They're reusable bibs, so they're kind of a plasticky material. And we have 100. So these are for internal club events. And Sport Wheels helped us offset the cost of these. And yeah, they look great running down the trail for the Miracle Mile. So that was nice. And they all got returned. So that was also nice.
All right, so Channel Lakes Park Run. So we started back in March 26th of this year. Or, sorry, 2022. Keep forgetting we're in 2023 already. Many of our members are regular participants and volunteers, so thank you for those that volunteer on a weekly basis. Several members achieved park run milestones this year in 2022. Some listed are there. Tom Boyce with his 25th park run. I do believe Craig and Jack, did you both get your 50?
Me, you got to.
He got his 50. Joyce got her 50 a couple of weeks ago. I remember that one. And then we did a club takeover, so Ian touched on that already with the tape race, and then also pace bunnies that were done on April 16th. And just once again, thank you for all of our club members that volunteer and go out and knock about every week.
So we wanted to highlight, a pretty big accomplishment is either participating in or qualifying for the Boston Marathon. For some runners, this is kind of something they're striving for. So in 2022, we had there were 3 members of our club that ran in the Boston Marathon, Chris, Pat, and Jamie. And hopefully we're not leaving anyone out here, but what we know is that other members have achieved Boston qualifying times in 22. Rachel, who's here, Paul, who impressively did that at Blue Nose, kind of a hard marathon to get a BQ at. Corey, Will, and Rebecca had a time that she was able to carry over 222 from 2021 since she wasn't able to go. So just wanted to give a shout out to all those people. And also would like to give a shout out to Nicole and Team Miles. Team Miles is a Blue Nose initiative, and it's really encouraging people who are looking for a healthier lifestyle and have goals around that to get together. It's a free program, and they train together for either a 5 or 10K. So a lot of people going into this are new runners. It's a great way to get introduced to running, like we say, as a lifelong activity. And we've had other members before participate in this. I think Joyce also has been a coach, and you were, yeah. So lots of people have come to our club through Team Miles, and just wanted to give a shout out. Of the 17 participants last year, 12 of them ended up joining our club. So this is a great way to get involved, and it's been a great way to introduce people to our club as well. So also wanted to acknowledge another accomplishment here. Several of our members participated in Capes 100, which is an ultra distance trail run held in the Mabou Highlands. It was August 12th to 14th, and it featured 3 different distances: 46K, 87K, and 100-mile option. So a couple of notable accomplishments. Lauren, was in the top 4 or top 6, but actually was 4th, I think. You sent that to me after. Yeah. Didn't update the slide. It's still in the top 6. It's still true. So congratulations. Shane completed 100 miles, and Jillian was the second female in the 87K. So some great accomplishments, but we had other members that participated as well. So those are some pretty impressive feats. Jacqueline.
Yeah, so we wanted to highlight some of the runs that we attend throughout the year, and one in particular is the Michelin Tire Trot. It's free. We usually have a really good turnout at this event. The registration's out right now, actually. So it's in Bridgewater, and it's a pretty decent route for 5K. And they give away a set of tires. And this year, Rachel, she won the set. So it was really nice to see one of our group members to win the tires. And Ian actually won the race this year. I'm sure he's won it other years as well. But and this year just happened to be the birthday that bumped me up into that other age category. So that was pretty neat.
That's you.
Is this all the apparel?
Yeah.
We did a survey this past year regarding some going prices for running shirts. Most members didn't want to pay these prices, so we sourced out a new company for running shirts. We found a new provider with similar quality products. Unfortunately, with the new provider, there was a mix-up with the t-shirts. We received V-neck short sleeve shirts, but had over a crew neck. And some runners chose to keep the V-neck shirts when we got them, but some wanted to have theirs replaced with what they had originally ordered. Craig spoke with their supplier regarding area for members. For the members who requested the crew neck, shirts were then reordered. There was a second order for long sleeve BLT Runners shirts, saying due to much interest by members. And we also invested money in the stock supply to have apparel on hand for new and existing members. The recorded crew neck t-shirts and the stock supply are here now. The long sleeves will be here soon. And our square site will also have technical trucker hats, which you see in the preferred slide before this one, for sale. And hoop rags are still there. The trucker hats are $34. The hoop rags buffs are $14. And we also have custom BLT Runner bid clips for $2.95. Any new stock apparel that we receive will be added to the square site. And we also have a new flag. Nice.
Okay, so this is something just to update people on. We talked about this at our last AGM. So something we had been looking at for a few years was insurance, and giving ourselves a little bit of peace of mind, I guess, as a board. So we have in 2022 purchased a $2 million general liability policy through Recreation Nova Scotia, which is an organization that really is supporting different recreational organizations throughout Nova Scotia, and this is one of the things they offer their members. So our club has become a member of Recreation Nova Scotia, and through that have been able to purchase a very inexpensive annual general liability policy. We also took out club membership through Athletics Nova Scotia, which gives us a different kind of insurance, directors and officers insurance. So that's a protection to our board. And for the first year, it was free, but in future years, including this year, 2023 and forward, the membership to be a part of Athletics Nova Scotia is $150. So really, for this, insurance, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $635. I mean, insurance prices, of course, will probably change over time. And so as part of that, I mean, we had certainly built up some funds in the club, and you would be able to cover that without asking for donations, but that would only take us so far. So in order to make this sustainable, one of the things we introduced in 2022 was an option. Of course, the club is free to join, but in order to help us fund some of these things, we do have other sources of income, such as, when we run the indoor speed work, which we haven't been able to do the last couple of years with COVID, but that's something we make a little bit of extra money on. We certainly do cover the cost of the rental, but we can still offer that very inexpensively and make a little bit of extra money off it. So that combined with donations, we're hopeful and believe that this makes for a sustainable model for us to be able to continue to have this sort of coverage. So far in 2023, we've received nearly $600 in donations from members joining, and as Stacy showed you with that chart, people will continue to join through the year, so we expect that number will continue to go up. But we want to thank everyone if you haven't made a donation. It's certainly very much appreciated, though not required. And just something I wanted to point out, this previous slide about insurance is something we were trying to do, was get an insurance option through Run Nova Scotia. That was actually where when we started asking questions and talking to Athletics Nova Scotia, that's where we were kind of pointed. But in the end, that wasn't something that Run Nova Scotia was prepared to do or able to do. And so we kind of left it, and then just not too long ago, we saw that Run Nova Scotia was looking for some feedback. So we have continued to, part of what we were asking for is an insurance option is really a different framework that's not currently part of Run Nova Scotia, which is, to have some sort of a club membership category. And so this is something we're continuing to voice and say, hey, this would be great if Run Nova Scotia was able to support running clubs or do something like this. For us, this is where we would maybe prefer to go for something like this as opposed to other organizations. And so just wanted to close the loop on that. I've talked about this at previous AGMs that we're continuing to voice that, and I think got a pretty good response from Run Nova Scotia when we did get in touch with them based on this feedback. So.
All right, so some of our plans for 2023 is obviously we started 2 weeks ago the Sunday Long Run group, so which we've named Brunch, and also we've also done our indoor speed work, so that's returned due to our membership with the Athletics Nova Scotia. We're going to continue to do some in-house running events with our new bibs, so watch out for some of our events coming up in the spring. And also continue with our purpose to unite runners by creating a fun and supportive, close-knit club that brings people together.
Just to tie that Athletics Nova Scotia part back, a few years ago, before COVID, when we were talking to the Canada Game Center about renting space, they were telling us that they weren't going to be able to do that anymore because we were not a member of a provincial sport organization for running. So that was another reason that we decided to, the ANS was a good option for us on the insurance, because there was not just the insurance benefit, but also it allowed us to kind of regain access. I guess they, within whatever their structure, have commitments to, because they got funding for building that facility for the Canada Games. There's some kind of legacy commitment they have to provide space for sport organizations. So that's kind of our pathway to be able to continue that. Okay, on to Nicole.
So the financial report. So financial report is, our statements are prepared by Nancy Alexander. She's a CPA and they're signed off by the president, which is Craig, and the treasurer, which is myself. So it would include our balance sheet. So this shows the accumulated assets and the liabilities as of December 31st, 2022. It also shows the accumulated member equity, which represents the sum of any accumulated surplus from all our years of club operation. And also it's our income statement, so it shows our profit and loss. This shows income and expenses of the club from January 1 to December 31 of 2022. So as you can see right there, so if you look at the bottom line, it shows that total liabilities and equity is $6,008. But with that being said, if you look at it, our liabilities are we have almost $3,000 tied up in apparel that we have to resell right now, with the trucker hats, the tanks, tees. That doesn't include the long sleeve shirts that we just ordered, because those were ordered by individuals as we ordered them, so they're to be delivered to the people that ordered them. Yeah. So, and then for our profit and loss, so if you look at it overall for the year, it shows that we have a net income of $184. It also shows that we had a net club merchandise sales loss of $70, but that's due to, for instance, the American Mile, when we did some draws, and we gave away some trucker hats, some buffs. So those came out of our inventory. So that's why we show that loss towards the sales of our club merchandise. All right.
So
We have to move to accept financial.
Oh, yeah. So
Right.
can I get two people to move to accept the financial, Stephanie and Tom?
So Stephanie was first. I'm just saying it's
Stephanie
Yes,
is
Stephanie
first.
first.
Stephanie
Tom
first and Tom Boyce second. Okay.
Any? Yes.
All in favor? All right.
All right. So now we're going to move on to our election of the director. So bear with me. So the director role description is: the society is led by a volunteer board of directors. The board that is elected by.
We probably need to read this.
Do I need opposite question? But not everything.
Well,
I had a summary, but I forgot to bring it with me. Sorry. I'll just read the 7 commitments.
yeah, like this is really just,
So basically, so once you're elected to the board, you're committed to a 3-year term and have a duty to resign before the end of this term if something changes that prevents you from fulfilling your obligations. Must read and understand the bylaws of the organization, attend at least 2 board meetings per year, plus AGM face-to-face or through call-in, commit to year-round regular attendance at club sanctioned group runs, complete first aid training required within 4 months of becoming a director, or renew training as required. The board of directors will have discretion to pay for training and will not require training if the director already has received training through another provider, such as your work or another organization. Be willing to communicate and make decisions through electronic means, and be an ambassador and promote the club in any and all ways possible. So The director shall be elected to a 3-year term, so as we mentioned earlier, Jacqueline brought up,
Change that.
it's Jacqueline and,
Yeah, this is not up to date.
oh, wait a minute. Error. So, this year, up for the 3-year term was up for Jacqueline and Jillian. So they both just finished their 3-year term. And the election procedure, so nominations prior to the AGM, so obviously prior to this, there was a post put out on our Facebook members page for anyone that either one that showed interest to become a member of the board, or 2 were nominated by someone else from the group to be a member on the board of directors. And we did get 2 nominations. Am I jumping ahead or?
Yeah, I guess the key thing here is that if you know, we can still accept nominations during the meeting as well, but we had the pre-nomination process and 2 people were put forward.
Yeah, so, and to that extent, if there's anyone with either here on the floor today or listening to us via cyber world out there, if you have anyone else that you want to nominate to be on our board, please do so now.
Yeah, okay. So I couldn't remember what we had next time.
Is there any other further nominations for this year's? So we did have nominated via the site was Stacy Henley and Jacqueline Spenny.
And I communicated that before, once the process closed, that I sent out a message, at least on the Facebook group, that was where it concluded.
I guess that,
I guess.
auto elects.
Yeah, if there are no other nominations.
And you guys are.
Then thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, show the next slide, right?
That was like, no, I'm not gonna show next slide.
are-
Okay, well, thanks to everyone. Thank you for those of you, hopefully, people joining us online stuck around. And so now onto the fun part. There's food and grab a drink, and thank you again. Hope to see you at our next group run or next event. Okay,
Rock run tomorrow.
yeah, park run tomorrow. I gotta turn all this stuff off.
24 windshield.
Oh, I know.
Nicole, I can get a picture.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Stacy.
Stacy, oh, I didn't get a picture.
I didn't know. And ask me.
I don't have one.
Jack, will there ever be a conversion? He was like, talking side of your. Try to put it. You have to submit it.
Yeah.
It's logistics.
I think that's mostly, I don't think there's a problem with somebody
Getting back.
having a BLT at the city. But it's a matter of who wants to organize it.
No, I didn't last year. I probably will.
Right.
I got on team this year and I got on the first time.
Oh, it's
That's normal.
rad. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're really great. Anyway.
Yeah.
The rich drink.
I did it for the first time last
They have all their teeth.
I heard it from somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he.
Yeah,
kind of
your
think
name
BLT,
is-
it's gonna be.
So those teams are all last year.
No.